No. Don't get me started on Tito. Don't get me started on Tito. Jesus. Okay, no, fuck that. Did Margarito...
That's not a conspiracy theory.
I mean, people say he did. People say he didn't. There's people... I mean, I think he did. Never proven that he did it against Cotto. Technically never proven. I know.
I beat the shit out of Cotto, bro. And I don't even curse while I'm on the air. And I just did that. He beat the crap out of him, bro.
Yeah.
He did.
Yeah.
He beat the crap out of him. And why, when he fought him the second time, it was not the same? It was very different. They made sure that his gloves were not, they were good. That his wraps, and then it was the complete different story. The second time around. For me, that proved that Margarito did have the wraps.
Yeah.
I don't know, bro.
And
Conspiracy theories.
And other people say that, Tito was a cheater. Don't tell a Puerto Rican that, though. I mean, look.
¿Cómo que cheated?
I don't think he was cheating. I know the laws in New York, and, they can't wrap their hands twice. But in Nevada, you could, and Tito was fighting a lot in Nevada.
You didn't know.
You didn't know? But if you're an American...
They didn't do the due diligence either to check, right? You're supposed to.
Yeah.
So.
Hey. Well, B-Hop's trainer did.
Oh, yeah.
Well, but that's without saying.
B-Hop was like, yo, we got to check these raps.
Yo, check these raps, homie. But yeah, dude, that was our crazy conspiracy rabbit hole that I thought we should go down.
That's right, man. We got some current events as we wrap up.
At least we didn't go into the craziest one, which I refuse to go down to.
Which one?
Is the Earth flat? No. Don't even answer that because I don't want to start.
We are going to move on from conspiracy theories before you open up
another can of worms.
Yes.
Okay.
We're gonna go into the closing segment of this podcast episode number 13, being the spooky, crazy one, conspiracy theory one. We're gonna close this out.
Dale.
Current events. We have recently, here in the DF Dub, have
some crazy fucking story, bro.
Have experienced psychotic mother issue.
Ay, Dios mío.
Please elaborate.
So, in Irving, which is a suburb of the DF Dub,
the former Dallas Cowboys practice area.
No, they're in Farmers Branch now, bro.
They're in Plano or Frisco, one of those two.
Anyway, it doesn't matter. My point is,
okay,
this crazy ass, I don't know, crazy, under the influence, honestly don't know, suffocated her children because the demons told her to.
I'm listening.
So, crazy thing, right? A good friend of mine, or a friend of mine's wife, knew this lady.
Nah.
Yeah.
Damn.
And according to her, she was never always all up here.
Yeah. Okay.
And I guess she had 2 kids, and she kind of normaled out for a little bit, and then I guess that shit came back. I think that they should have called the priest from The Exorcist on her before she killed him.
Yeah, seriously. He was the guy that prayed for Emily Rose. So here's the deal. Reading on some reports, allegedly she's already had some altercations with the law. One of them was that
she's been in and out of trouble. Like I said.
she was recently not recently, but in the past she had. Mind you, her son was very young, so this happened within the last 5 years. That she was at a Ross or Marshall's a store, and somebody in the store had called the cops on her because she was yanking at her son's arm. God knows what she was trying to do. She was trying to yank his arm out of socket, or she was, I don't know. But they called the cops on her. They got there. They saw that nothing was wrong. They did what they had to do.
She was Hispanic, so beating her kid in
public.
public is not out of the ordinary. But with that said, suffocating your kids because the demons told you to, homie.
That's trash.
That's something wrong with you.
Some people say that, your mental issue. I say that's... People don't say... People that don't believe in this don't say this. But for me, I believe that demons told her that.
Maybe, yeah, 100%. I'm not saying no. I do believe that there are spiritual entities that try to prey on us, for sure.
I mean,
I've been an experience of that, since we were talking about episode 13. That's one of the reasons I left Florida. It's because of spiritual entities trying to hunt me down.
yeah, bro, we shouldn't have been dating that Santera back in the day. That's why.
Bro, dude, no. 100% legitimate story. I'm about to go down this rabbit hole with you.
Let's do that. Let's talk about a crazy experience that we had. This is spur of the moment. Let's talk about a crazy spiritual moment that we've one of the craziest that you've gone through.
Bro, okay, so
check in Florida, you go through many.
Check this out. Okay, so it was like 2011, 2012.
2012. Okay.
I was living with my brother and our roommate Roy.
Where?
In Kissimmee.
Kissimmee. Okay.
And bro, this dude, right? Iraqi vet, Marine, like, dude had some experiences with him. He had some experiences with him and all this, and how can I tell you, bro? It's okay. So this dude liked to go to dumpsters and collect shit. Yeah. Just fucking. He would see a freaking table. He'd be like, "Bro, this is a perfectly good table. Let's bring it in."
Was it good or was it trash?
I'm just saying what he did. Okay.
Because you obviously you must not be from the hood. If you
Bro, he was from Nicaragua. So.
Oh man.
Okay. Not to say anything bad about Nicaraguans because my aunt is from Nicaragua, pero estaba medio.
We love Gallo Pinto.
For sure. But one day, this dude, working at his job, they gave him this statue of this African woman, bust. Like a bust of an African woman with the braids and all this. It was green. And he brought it home. He was like, "Hey, look what they gave me at work." And Papi was visiting.
So
Not me, Papi, but my Papi.
He freaked out, right?
Papi was like, "Get that shit out of this house, now." And Papi's old school.
Oh, yeah.
Papi, his father era espiritista.
Whose father?
My father, my grandfather.
Espiritista,
That's not Santero, that's the guys that do seances and shit.
Okay.
So, no era Santero, he kind of believed in some of that shit, but he was espiritista.
Naturally being from the Caribbean, of course.
And Papi, having that knowledge,
right,
sees it and goes, "Fuck that."
Yeah.
And me believing Papi knows more than I do, I go, "Que Dios lo bendiga, que eso no venga para mí." Bro, from the moment that shit stepped into that house, creepy ass shit started happening, homie. I started having dreams of me coming out of my body, demons chasing me at night.
Damn.
I was messing with this girl that my dad calls Nuclear. I didn't think she was that bad looking, but my dad was visiting us a lot at that time.
He called her Nuke.
My brother thought the same thing.
That sounds like some Jersey Shore
she was like
she's a big
bro, she had big titties. I didn't care.
Damn.
I'm
funny, bro.
Big titties and a mohawk, kind of real 2012, kind of alternative looking chick. And I was like, I'm all for it, whatever. She's a little cuckoo. But that bitch was crazy. Crazy, bro. I spent a weekend with her, and La Cabrona fucking stole my Ray Lewis jersey. Needless to say.
Damn, bro.
Yeah.
Not the Ray Lewis jersey.
Oh, bro, the Ray Lewis.
Jeez.
Original jersey. Anyway.
The purple one or the black one?
The white one.
Oh, I like the white one.
The white one, bro.
The home alternate jersey. Nice.
Yes. Anyway. The biggest one that happened was all that crazy shit started happening. My brother started going through some shit. But the craziest one was actually my father. He was visiting us. I think it was sometime around this time of the year. It was right before I moved to Austin, because I remember I moved to Austin in October, so it was around this time of the year. Because my sister came to visit too, and it was just me, my brother, and Roy kind of living there doing the bachelor thing. Y Papi estaba en el cuarto de Roy, because Roy went out of town on a contractor job. He was sleeping in Roy's room, and my dad was like, one day he woke up and he went, "Can I sleep in your room?" Y Papi, he's not a scared man at all.
Your dad asked, really?
Papi's not a scared man at all.
Oh.
But Papi was first of all, he has a mirror in front of his bed. like a mirror the size of the TV or the size of that in front of the bed.
Okay.
And you know that in the Caribbean, that's like bad mojo. On top of that, he had a bunch of like weird, like Middle Eastern statues and shit on his stuff. And my dad's real spiritual. He's a Christ believer. On top of that, with all the knowledge from the Caribbean, he just knows that there are entities that we just don't know, right? So he was sleeping in the room because my dad ain't no bitch, right? And then he wakes up because he was telling me that somebody was sitting on his chest. And he couldn't see what it was, but he could feel somebody sitting on his chest. He wakes up.
Great, bro. That's crazy.
He wakes up. Here's the crazy thing. That same night, I was having a dream that something was trying to come in through my door. Now, in my room in the house, I had kind of like those double doors that you see in those Florida houses. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's always that one room that had like the double doors that open up, you know, to the inside. Yeah. And I felt like something was trying to come in, but I wouldn't let it come in. And next thing I know, I pop awake. I turn on my light, and like moments later, my dad's knocking on the door. Hey, I'm sleeping with you. Like,
that's creepy, bro.
Bro, like, it was. I'm like I said, bro. There's certain things that I just don't understand why they happen, but I know that when we moved in, it was cool, and then he brought that thing into the house, and it was like a spirit or something kind of took over, and I don't know if it was the bust. I don't know if it was just Roy's bad vibes, because since then, this dude's been to jail due to domestic abuse. Shitty dad. I don't know where he's at now. I hope that and pray that God reached him and turned around his life. But I'll tell you this, man. That bust, I will forever be etched in my mind, because it was kind of like an like can't explain it. Like una africana, just, you know, etched into this green stone.
That's crazy, bro.
True story.
That is very crazy, and I believe it, man. I've personally gone through many experiences personally with people. With me, my best friend and I have gone through very crazy situations where I don't even want to get into that. But I'm gonna have a more PG version, and a not so biblical one, because I don't want people to think I'm crazy. Because anyways,
they already think we're crazy, bro. We drink coffee and talk crap.
That's right. So here's the deal. I must have been at least 13 or 14 years old.
Jeez.
It was a normal day. I'm trying to think back. Obviously, I'm almost 30 years old, but I remember I was 14 like it was yesterday. It's a great age. So I remember it being at least 2 or 3 in the morning, and I heard a very loud scream. And where I used to live at in the East Lake Apartments on Dean Road, in Orlando on the east side, it was my window faced towards the woods that split between, East Colonial and Buck Road.
Yeah, I know exactly where that's at.
There was a big patch, and then I had looked out of my window because I heard a scream, like, it was like a deathly scream. It's like I really felt like the scream before somebody loses their life, and then they just stop. So I looked out the window, and then I see this silhouette of a spirit that would just keep pacing back and forth.
Oh, lady in white?
Now that I think about it, it was a white. I'm not sure if it was a lady or not, but I know that it had like a hood over, and it just kept walking back and forth.
Funny story, I'm getting goosebumps right now.
Let me finish, because hold up, dude, I'm not done. I get up, I go to my parents' room, I wake my mom up, and I go, come look at this. So she follows me, she's half asleep. She looks out of the window, and I'm like, Mom, you see that right there? I know she was looking at the same exact location, because she described things that were around it. And I was like, you don't see that moving back and forth? She was like, no, Papa, I don't see that. And I was like, yeah, Mom is right. And it kept on. And then I saw it disappear. And then I was like, Mom, it's gone now. But I was stood there with my mother looking at the same exact spot. I'm the only one